So Emma, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about food. Is that what we're going for?
Yeah, food Lily likes, just eating habits.
That was an eating habit.
Just from a baby through to a toddler, where we are now. We obviously can't talk about the future. This episode is called Beige Food. Num 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 num. Tasty.
It's not going to be your thing for the episode. Tasty.
Tasty.
I think it sounds a bit flirty.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't go with that as a
You're
thing.
like one of the, you know when you're on the beach abroad and there's those men go around trying to sell like donuts and things. And they're like, lekker, lekker, tasty, tasty.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be a creepy guy. I've committed to it now, it's too late.
You have.
So, welcome to the cupboard under the stairs in the Crippen household. The baby is asleep. It's time to unwind and have a break from the constant balance between getting your child to sleep and keeping them awake. So we'll chat about life as a parent, in this instance, specifically food.
Food.
Num num num, tasty.
Delicious.
And while we do a craft activity, you're here with me, Elliot, the Hufflepuff, and Emma.
Emma, the Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Thought we'd get a Harry Potter reference in there.
Yeah, no, that works for me.
Yeah.
I always think it sounds a bit like, I'm a Ravenclaw. I'm so clever.
You like learning though.
I like
your whole
learning,
thing,
yeah.
like with languages, and you're really fascinated by. You've often said before you could easily have been like an academic.
Yeah, I could just study forever, for being honest. And the problem is you don't get paid to do that, so it's never going to be a thing for me. But yeah. And I don't just like one topic. Any topic. Get me interested in it. One point I was watching YouTube how to do Rubik's Cubes.
Well, I like Rubik's Cubes, but the learning thing, I like learning skills, but like studying is not my thing. I feel like Hufflepuff get a bit of a bad rep of just being the kind of the leftovers, but
No, I think they're known as the nice people.
oh, I'm just quite nice.
You're nice, yeah.
That's the one. Just quite nice.
I think when people say that, I'm always like, oh, they're nice.
Who's your favourite Harry Potter character? Putting you on the spot here.
Hagrid or Dobby?
Yeah.
His eyes were like, just going to mention Dobby.
I knew this. See, this is the thing. I know Emma because
Yeah.
She's my wife. I know what she's gonna say.
I don't know who your favourite
Who's my favourite? Mine
know.
fluctuates a little bit, and fluctuates with time because I often revisit reading the Harry Potter books.
Yes.
We've enjoyed rewatching them because they've recently been on
Yeah.
Netflix. Although I've remembered how much of the books aren't in them, so I kind of was a bit disappointed. Again, I'd kind of forgotten.
Yeah, I always sometimes imagine bits from the book in the film, in the film. So sometimes I'll be like, when are they going to go to the kitchens and see all the house elves? And I'm like, that just never happens. We never see all the house elves.
I mean, I'm quite boring in that my favourite character is usually Harry.
Yeah.
But not necessarily because I like Harry, but because it's like this weird thing of like, I'm an only child, and like, I often see the parallels of this weird thing of, like, you come from a big family like the Weasleys and
Yeah.
like we're little friends. Like I like this concept that I'm Harry and you're Ron and we're just
Yeah.
like a little
And like his family had more money and my family were poor.
yeah. What craft activity are we doing today? I believe you're looking at me like you've no idea. That's fine, because as you probably picked up, we don't actually do the craft activity while we're recording.
Like, I have
this.
no idea what craft activity we've done.
The craft you'll be watching along with, I think, is the gnome village that you made.
Oh, yeah. Gnome Village. This is what I made for Lily's Christmas. Well, I say this year. Technically last year. But the most recent Christmas.
Christmas just gone.
Yeah. And has she played with them? No, not really. She just occasionally picks them up and shows me them. And I'm like, yes, I made that for you.
You put a lot of effort into making these. Well, you'll see in the videos. It's quite a lot of effort.
Yeah.
We were impressed, really, that you'd managed to find the little wooden pegs and houses, really, to paint.
Yeah.
If you don't know, these are kind of an attempt to replicate what's in Bluey. So in one of the episodes, Bluey's... Is it Blue? Yeah, Bluey's at her school.
Kindergarten? Nursery?
I think it's a school.
Oh, is it a school?
Remember,
it's just because it's really Waldorf /
Yeah,
Montessori
it's like a
school, so
Montessori
it
type
doesn't
school.
look like what we normally think of as a school.
And one of the characters is building a gnome village.
Honey.
Yeah.
Is building a gnome village.
We're going quite deep into
Yeah.
Bluey lore here.
We've already talked about Harry Potter. I think it's becoming a more long episode.
They're the things we like.
Yes, but that's what I was inspired by. So I made some little gnomes and made little houses.
This is one of those things where some of the crafts we're doing them specifically so we can show you them in the podcast. But this was one that Emma was just doing anyway.
Yeah, doing
and I was
anyway.
like, I'm going to film this because we can use it for the podcast.
Yep.
There we go.
Ta-da! So you need to all be very impressed with this craft because it took a very long time. My heart and soul are in those figures. Move to the next segment. Bum-ba-da-bum.
So we've come to our parenting achievement.
Ooh,
what parenting
am I meant to have
achievement
thought of something?
have
with
you
this?
unlocked? Well, I've got a list of things. So because, we're very unprepared and we've been struggling to think of things, I've been making lists of things for us, an achievement we've unlocked, which is probably one that's other people have experienced as well. But Lily is quite stubborn, our little 2-year-old. But this
Very
was
stubborn.
a while ago now. And she's very attached to you. She's always been quite clingy with her mama.
She's always been a mama's girl.
Yeah. I mean, we go through phases where she's very happy. And, she's very happy with me most of the time.
She is,
It's just
yeah.
if you were
It was
in the picture.
a choice.
Yeah. Always go to mama. And so I was trying to look after her one day.
Was it when I was ill?
I think it might have been when you were ill. So I think you were upstairs in bed. The problem was Lily knew you were upstairs in bed and so was not happy that she had to sit downstairs with Baba. And I think because it wasn't during a time when we were going through this clothing challenge that we are now. So I think it must have been quite a hot weather, a hot day. And we were downstairs in the living room and so she was naked and not wearing any clothes. And I was sitting there and I saw her. She'd been screaming, but I'd finally got her settled because she wasn't with mama. And so she was standing there and she looked at me and she kind of squatted down on the ground and gave me an evil look and then started to do a poo on the carpet. And I was like, Lily, no! And she was just staring at me like, this is revenge because I'm not with mama.
Yeah, for context, she was potty trained by this point, so she knew what she was doing.
Oh, yeah.
She knew she didn't go on the floor. She was like Baba screams, Mama might come down and do something.
Yeah, this will get mama down.
And I think it did get me down because
It did.
it was like, I need to clean the carpet.
I was like, I need help. She's done a poo on the carpet. So coming to food, the num tasty.
That was it. Tasty.
Tasty. Shall we talk about that?
Yeah? Do you want to start from the very beginning? A very good place to start.
I don't know how far back do we go? We might cover these in other episodes because it's quite a big topic.
Yeah, I think we'll lightly touch on baby-led weaning. Yeah,
we'll talk about baby-led weaning elsewhere. I was thinking going back to the start in that there's foods that you like during pregnancy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But again, that could be a whole topic for another day.
Well, this could just be a question for everybody else.
Okay.
When your partner was pregnant, what was their preferred kind of...
What were their food cravings?
That's it, craving. I was going to say snack of choice because I forgot the word craving. So for me, baked beans were what I lived off. And when I say lived off, if you say, what did you fancy? I'm like, I want baked beans. Every meal. All the time.
Yeah. And Lily now loves baked beans.
Yeah.
So, pass that on.
Yeah. But it can't be helped. And I really liked Milka bars. And I had one day where I loved those Monster Munch.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next day I couldn't eat them.
Yeah.
And Elliot was so annoyed because he ran out and bought a huge thing of them because that's what I really wanted. And I only had 3 packs of this huge pack. And the next day it's like, oh, do you want one? I was like, oh no, that's disgusting. Why would I want them? I feel so sick when you tell me about it.
Feels a nice life to have, looking back, that was my biggest worry in life, was that we'd bought a load of Monster Munch and now you didn't want to eat them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
at the time it's like, oh no, and now it's like, nice problem to have.
Yeah. I only worried about Monster Munch.
Yeah. Well, Lily, what's Lily's favourite food? We started her on food quite early, and like we said, we did baby-led weaning.
It's quite helpful because she'll really like she's been talked about, because she asked if she was talked about in the first episode. My sister Becky, because she's in France, they start baby-led weaning a lot earlier. So when we were a bit worried that Lily was kind of hungry, even though she was drinking a lot of milk, my sister was like, well, if she can sit up and, seems interested in food, why don't you start her? So, just saying, helpful tip. The NHS kind of tells you to wait 6 months. We waited till 5.
4.5,
Four
I
and
think.
a half.
You'll find this with a lot of stuff we do, and you don't have to agree with us.
Oh,
but,
no.
We often followed the French advice.
We did.
Because Becky's in France, and their stuff seemed to make a lot of sense to us. And so
I think
we kind of ignored the NHS.
they're quite modern about some things. And I get, with the NHS, 6 months is probably the safe mark. As in, some children obviously will be more developed, some will be less developed. So 6 months is probably the, the safe age.
Yeah.
But Lily took to her straight away.
Oh, yeah.
Loved eating.
Yeah. So her favourite food around that age, around 4 or 5 months, was sweet potato.
Yeah.
Big fan of that, because we baby-led weaning.
Yeah.
But she did like all the kind of crisps and snacks and those, like, the healthy...
Oh, yeah. The healthy baby snacky
puffs,
things.
like vegetable puffs and fruit.
I'm sure you liked steak.
Things. Oh, yeah, steak and steak, yeah.
What I think, cost of living wasn't as bad back then. Because now I'm like, would I waste steak on a child? I don't think I would.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but we'll go more into baby-led weaning later. So we'll skip ahead a little bit, and we'll talk more about that later. But then heading towards kind of a year, she really developed a kind of her own preferences in food and started becoming a bit more picky, as is quite normal.
Yes, yeah.
We've done quite well. She's never become really picky. We're not going to talk so much about how to deal with picky eating because
we haven't experienced it yet.
We haven't experienced it so much.
And that's not a brag, because I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of kids, I think they turn 3 and they're like, nope, only want to eat beige. All I want to do.
Our general rule with this podcast is we're only going to talk about things we have experience of.
Yeah.
We'll rely on our listeners and others to come in and chip into the conversation with experiences. If you've got older kids, we'd love to hear about things, about how you're coping with different challenges. We can only tell you about the challenges we've got at the moment. Which Lily has always been a fairly good eater. Yeah. As with your family. Yeah. All your family's children eats a ton.
They all eat a ton.
So our problem has been having enough food. Yeah. We always need so much food in the house.
We do. And the problem is she'll love something one day and dislike it the next day. So you never know what food is going to be a hit.
And it's always a pain, isn't it? Because often I buy like the children's snacks. Because for a long time we tried to be really healthy,
we did.
as you do as parents. We're jumping around here in the timeline, but so when she was first eating, we tried to be really healthy and not get any sugar really. Yeah. We weren't bothered about fat and other bits, but sugar particularly.
But sugar we were very strict on to start with.
And that's kind of
that's gone out the window.
Gone out the window.
That's, they say the line somewhere. I think it's a Friends episode. The line is a dot to you. That is now way back. Sugar is now just considered a daily necessity.
Yeah, ice cream for tea? Fine, good with us. But what I was going to say was those snacks you buy in like the healthy aisle of the supermarket, stuff that designed for kids or just generally are made more healthy, like crisps made of vegetables and all that type of stuff.
Like Lidl does those Peppa Pig chickpea crisps or something.
But they're the things that Lily sometimes is really into and sometimes is like, why would I want to eat that? Yeah. And the trouble is the healthy stuff is generally more expensive.
It is.
So it's like, I've got to buy all this expensive stuff. And then she might eat it or she might not.
Yeah.
Or I could buy things full of sugar and she would definitely eat it. And they're cheaper.
Yes, yeah, it's true.
No.
That's why our country has an obesity crisis, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Really sugary things are pretty cheap.
Yeah. It's just not great. But it's also a time thing, isn't it? Again, we spend a long time. Baby-led weaning takes quite a bit of time and patience. But even later on, like I used to make like those sugar-free blueberry muffins.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Which were good success.
They were.
Quite a hit.
Good
But again,
hit.
took quite a lot of time. You know, got to have time to bake things at home, which not everyone has.
No.
And these days we have less of. So we kind of just buy stuff, even though it has sugar in.
Or if we do normal baking, it normally has sugar in, to be honest. So it doesn't make a lot of difference.
So we've established Lily likes eating a lot. And most things, really. She likes nearly everything. What's a food that Lily definitely won't eat? Some fish. Yeah,
doesn't like the idea of fish. Which is fair enough, because some people just don't like fish.
And I don't like fish.
No.
So probably doesn't help.
Example given, some people don't like fish. Elliot doesn't like fish.
I like water. You know, like just sorry, it's a bit random.
You like water?
Not drinking it.
No, he doesn't.
No,
like
this is
drinking
not
it.
a
I was going to say
food-related
that's
thing.
not true.
No, I like being in water, but I don't like fish.
Yes, that's not
Fact
related
about me.
to the topic.
Sort of throw that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, so for interesting fact, he likes water. Not drinking it, just being in it.
I'm not good at drinking water.
No, he's not.
No.
See, once again, bad example.
This is tough, you know, with food, trying to set a good example. You're better at this.
Yeah, I'm looking very pleased with myself.
You always tell us we need to, like, always have something green and something like a salad or something on the table. Even if Lily won't eat it, just to make it seem normal.
Exactly. I want it to be just, this is a normal food. It's not a healthy food or an unhealthy food. It's just an established thing we have at the table that you can choose to eat.
See, this is where Emma's the one that likes learning. You see, she's a Ravenclaw because she's gone away, researched, come back and said, this is what we need to do.
I do. I often say to her, I've read a thing, I've heard a thing. I think we should try it out.
Yeah. Last night, my meal did not go so well in terms of this setting a good example, because I was trying to cook food that Lily would eat, but as is often the case, she's eaten enough. You know, she's had snacks and things in the day, and she's not hungry anymore because she eats a lot.
Does
and
eat
it's
a lot.
fair. She gets full. But then I've cooked a load of food, and then I'm left with it.
Also, in Lily's defence, you'd left it late. If we're being honest.
I've got the blame again.
You should have started cooking earlier if you wanted her to eat your food.
Yeah.
Because she kind of had reached past the point of like her normal food.
But my food was entirely beige.
It was
so
entirely
I had
beige.
chicken Kievs. It was a big meal because it was intended to be for Lily and me, but she didn't eat anything. So I had 2 chicken Kievs. I had various potato waffles, chips, and those turkey or chicken dinosaur things in breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 of them.
Can you tell this was a Baba meal?
Yeah. Lots
Mama
of freezer
wasn't
food.
involved in this.
Oh, no. I mean, I feel like I should clarify. This makes me sound like I'm a bad cook. I can actually cook very well.
Yeah.
And we, again, as you'll know from hopefully listening to some of our other episodes, we tend to split things 50-50.
We
so
do.
we don't really have a main cook in our house.
No, we don't.
We kind of alternate, and you cook some nights, I cook other nights.
Yeah. Just depends if somebody's busy, what people are doing.
I quite like cooking, especially now. You get a break from the child. It's great. I like to go and cook, put a little show or a podcast on my phone while I'm cooking.
It's
and
quite
relax.
Well, no, this is the difference though, because he's left alone when he's cooking, whereas somehow when Mama's cooking, somebody has to get involved. So,
yeah,
I like the idea of doing that. It's just then I have a toddler in the kitchen who's really desperate to help.
Yeah. We like different food as well.
We do.
I'm the sweet boy.
Sweet boy.
I'm the sweet boy.
He loves
I like,
sweet food.
Really sugary things. Again, I'm gonna have to be really careful going forward. I don't want to. How do I stop Lily? I mean, Lily already loves sweet things, so it's not going well. But Yeah, I love desserts and cakes and yum, tasty,
And he
tasty.
loves really, really sweet things that I can't stand.
Yeah, yeah, even drinks and things. Love, the sweeter the better.
Oh, yeah.
I like sweet
Yuck.
cider, fruity things. Yeah.
Because it was a drink we got from KFC when we were travelling.
Oh, that watermelon
Yeah.
spritzer thing.
I don't know what it was, but it was disgusting. But he really liked it. Because I'd ordered it for myself because I thought it was sounded like a fun, healthy drink. And then when I was drinking, I was like, just so sweet. It's just, ugh.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yum. Whereas you're the savoury one.
Yeah. Basically, I like meat.
Meat, yeah. What's your favourite meat?
Steak.
Steak.
Yeah.
Not sausages.
Oh, no, sausages is like my because it's cheaper. It's my go-to meat. But if I had like unlimited funds, I would always eat steak.
Yeah, Lily's gone off meat a lot recently. She
a
used
bit.
to enjoy it a lot, but now,
She likes chicken.
yeah, I think we haven't hit on the best, the
Way
ideal
to
form
give it to her,
to give
yeah.
it to her, because we've moved from through baby-led weaning. She loved having things to pick up.
Yeah.
And eat with your hands, and now she has to eat everything with cutlery.
Oh, yeah. She's like a little lady.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I want to use my knife and fork. And I'm like, but it makes it a lot harder to eat with your knife and fork. But no.
And meat's quite hard to eat with a knife and fork for a toddler.
It is.
And she doesn't like always things being cut up into tiny little pieces either.
Because she wants to do it.
Yeah. And she likes to copy whatever we do.
Yeah. So it means then you've cut everybody's up.
This is why it's quite good that she likes beans.
Yeah.
Because that's protein.
It is.
And that's good. So we're like, beans for breakfast? Great. Eat a tin of beans.
Yep.
Perfect.
And she's quite good. She likes chickpea curries and stuff.
Oh, yeah. She likes quite a range of food, really. So this is the other thing, is at nursery, she will eat all sorts.
Oh, yeah. This should be a separate topic. Nursery, they are perfect children that never do anything. They always go, she has been an angel. What a pleasure. And I'm like, she is on it. Most times she can be a pleasure. But also, home she can be very moany, moping about, wanting me to do stuff with her. Which I'm not saying I don't like doing stuff with her. But it's very different. With me, she wants 100% of my attention all the time. And I'm like, I just want 5 minutes where I can just do this thing quickly. And I'm like, at nursery, do a lot of independent play. Don't really bother them too much. Yeah. Separate topic. Food. She will eat. They could give her monkey brains at nursery and she'd eat them.
Yum,
true.
monkey brains.
Because all the other children are eating whatever it is. She will eat whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And they always go, oh, she's eaten everything and she's had seconds. And I'm like...
She always has multiple courses at nursery. She'll eat seconds and thirds.
Does make me consider sometimes how big the portions are.
Yeah.
Because
I think we've mentioned this before, but yeah. Apparently she kind of holds her plate up and goes, more! Again!
Again!
What's Lily's favourite food?
Pickle.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'd forgotten this. Yeah. Pork pies and pickle.
Pork pies and
Big
pickle.
Hit. Who'd have thought it?
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Spicy curries. She likes really, really strong flavours at the minute. Which I was reading about. Apparently it is a phase a lot of children go through.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they like really strong things. So basically, if it's a really strong taste, she's normally a fan of it. Like goat cheese. When we went to Disneyland, she refused to eat the pizza. This is the thing she won't eat, pizza. I don't know if she doesn't get the concept. Just looks at me like it's weird.
Yeah.
But we went to Disneyland for my 30th. She loved the goat cheese on the pizza. So she would take that off and eat it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the downside, isn't it? She likes us being very involved in eating, so we have to share her food. We all have to eat together. And
we all have to try and eat the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is a challenge because I'm gluten-free and obviously Elliot's not gluten-free.
Yeah. We could all eat gluten-free, and we sometimes do, particularly if it's like pasta or a meal we're making. But
it's just more expensive sometimes.
More expensive. And also, we want Lily to have glutinous food for a while as well.
Try and hope that it doesn't trigger it in her. So.
Yeah. But she's often feeding us food. I think it's quite common. We've heard already from some of our listeners that being fed food by your toddler is quite a common thing, which is lovely. And normally it's been in her mouth already. She's half chewed it, spat a bit out, and here you go. Here's a lovely bit of food.
Lovely
it's like,
gooey thing.
Lovely. That's delicious. I'm like, yum.
And often you don't get much of a choice because she puts it in your mouth.
Yeah. She'll just keep stay there, holding it out, looking at you. Come on, eat this.
Fortunately, she's learnt that Mama can't eat certain things.
Yeah.
So I don't get picked as often because she thinks I can't eat anything.
Yeah. So the downside for me is I often end up eating 2 meals.
Yes.
So having like double calories. And also, like we've said, Lily likes quite a range of diverse food. So I don't always like it. I'm like, I don't want to eat this thing, Lily. I know you like it, but I don't really want a spoonful of pickle. Like, I like pickle, but
don't want to eat it by itself.
And she loves sauces, so any sauce with any meal.
I think that's quite typical. A lot of kids like sauces.
She's really got into dipping, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So have like
loves dipping.
A plate full of different sauces and dip stuff in them.
Yep.
Great. She's having a great time.
Yeah, she loves dips.
Yeah.
It's often if she's unsure of a food, if I put some dips out and then she knows she can dip the food in them, that it makes her a lot keener.
Let us know in the comments below what your favourite foods are, what your children are eating, what they don't like, all the stuff we've been discussing. Let us know your thoughts and the different experiences, because I'm sure they'll be different.
Oh, yeah.
Although I'm sure there'll be other things that are the same with Lily, which is the great thing, really. We can share all our experiences and see what the similarities are. There'll be other people out there experiencing the same thing. Or if you've got
like we could always do a thread on our Facebook group for like people who've got really good recipes to get different foods into kids. Just because I always follow a lot of people on Instagram and stuff, but I promise they have very fancy things like, I have a dehydrator, and I'm like, I don't have that. I have normal pans and pots, and that's what I'm limited to.
So share your normal things with us.
Yeah, but you're fancy. I don't want to know.
Yeah, we're just normal people doing normal things.
Yeah, I don't have any of these things in my kitchen. So you gotta give us easy.
What
stuff
if people think we're the fancy ones? Do you think people think we're fancy?
Well, I don't know. Maybe having a birthday going to Disneyland seems quite exciting, but I will verify it was my 30th. We don't go every year to Disneyland.
So let us know. Drop a comment down below or over on our Instagram account at don'twakethebaby_podcast. And as has already been mentioned, you can chat more and link up with us and other listeners over in our Facebook community of listeners. So if you're a parent and want to connect with others around Yorkshire where we're based, or if you're further afield, that's over on Facebook. All the links to those are on our webpage, which is www.kairosmovement.org.uk/don't-wake-the-baby. I know in previous things I've always missed a W.
Well, I think everybody knows it's 3 because it doesn't exist with 2. So
you know how the internet works.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Well, if they're founders, they do, don't they? If you're not online, you won't hear this.
So we are a project in partnership with the Kairos Movement, which me and Emma are a part of, and that's part of the Methodist Church. So the Kairos Movement is a dispersed and inclusive community around Yorkshire that values curiosity and fun and being connected, grounded through story, exploring faith and spirituality. It's a kind of pick-a-mix range of groups and activities. We'd recommend it. One of those activities is a monthly craft retreat that one of the members run. There's more details on our website, but if crafting, if that element of our podcast here is something that really interests you, you can get togethers with some others. If you're within distance of York, then that might be something that's of interest. But there's loads of other things that we do, and check it out. Stay tuned till the end of the episode to see how the craft has turned out that we're watching.
Which will be beautifully.
And to see a parenting tip from one of our listeners that someone has sent in. We'll talk about that. And also to see a craft that someone sent in that a listener has done, and we'll feature at the end. And we'll give all the details of how to send your own things to feature then. But yeah, Back to it.
Hooray. Back to it.
What were your favourite foods as a child, Emma?
Ooh. Oh, well, my family are quite traditional. So my favourite food was dumpling stew as a child.
Great.
True, I used to, if it was my pick, was a good thing my mum did as a tip. Like, every now and again, she'd let one of us pick what we'd have for dinner. And if it was my pick, it would be dumpling stew. Unfortunately, since I've turned gluten-free, haven't really been able to do it justice.
We've tried gluten-free dumplings, haven't we? But we've never been that successful.
Never been that successful.
If you have a good gluten-free dumpling recipe for us, we'd love to hear
Add it to the kids' recipes.
Mm.
Love to do one of them. That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how old I was then. Probably not a toddler.
Yeah, well,
About
I mean,
6 or 7.
We've been talking about toddler habits because that's what we have, but I don't remember being a toddler, really.
I'm pretty sure we just had jars.
Oh, yes, baby food. Yeah. See, that's interesting, isn't it? 'Cause I think
baby rice, that was a big thing.
That was a lot bigger, I think, when we were growing up. To have baby food, a lot more prevalent. And people still do, but I get the impression it's less
frequent.
Yeah, you
less
see
frequent,
less of it.
see, wrong word again. Not frequent. Less popular.
Less popular. Yeah. I feel like I see less of it in the supermarket as well.
Yeah, I think it's also because it's not cheap.
It's
so, you know, because I know people who make their own effectively, but not who buy it. So,
I mean, this is I suppose, one of the positives of baby-led weaning. If you're thinking about what to do if you're at that stage or can't decide, it is a lot of work. But then equally, you kind of get to that point where they can just eat whatever's on your plate.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier. You don't
and they
have
can
to buy...
self-feed, so you don't have to sit there and feed them.
Yeah, so we never did spoon feeding or anything like that. Again, some of it was implemented by us, and some of it is driven by Lily herself, her personality, who she is.
I'd say she's always been quite independent.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is odd because she's very clingy with me, but she's clingily independent.
I don't know if we've instilled that in her or if it's just kind of genetics, so who knows? Yeah, for me as a child, again, I don't know about that age, but I know my parents often say that I went through a phase of only wanting to eat those like tinned hot dog sausages. I still love them now.
He
They're
does.
great.
He still loves them now.
There's like kind of processed chicken sausages.
Yeah, delicious.
Great. Yeah, lovely. Tasty.
Lily quite likes them as well, actually.
Yeah.
Not as keen as you, to be honest. She could, leave them, but she quite likes them.
It's quite interesting though, because food-wise, I would say maybe we've had a more similar upbringing than is. See, in a lot of cases, we've had quite different upbringing. So, like you were saying, you've got a big family, and you sometimes got to choose what meal you were having.
Yeah.
In my family, there's only me, so I got to choose like most nights what we were having because I was spoiled and I was an only child.
Spoiled.
Me.
It was a big deal for us.
Yeah. I'm like, what? What's that? Yeah, you choose what you eat.
Yeah.
But I think then once I was slightly older, we had quite similar meals in that we have quite traditional parents and we had quite traditional meals. So like stew and stuff, quite British.
Our parents are slightly older than most parents of people our age.
Yeah. So if you don't know, like we've almost missed a generation. Our parents had us when they were kind of in their late 30s.
Technically, my family hasn't because my mum had other children first.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But I feel like my dad will be 80 this year.
Yeah.
He's the oldest of our parents, but they're all retired now. So, yeah, it means we had a different sort of upbringing. Almost, we had an upbringing of those who were slightly older than us.
Yes, yeah. For people who are probably 20 years older, we've had a very similar upbringing to them, I think.
So we had lots of kind of British food.
Meat and potatoes.
My dad loves meat and 2 veg.
Yeah, so does my dad.
Doesn't like foreign food. No. So I don't think I'd had like a proper takeaway until I went to university.
So this was slightly different in that, we only had Indian or Chinese. And it was only because my dad did not like it. But also he has problems with his stomach, so I think it just irritated it as well. Was when like dad was out, which he's a farmer, he's out quite a lot, but it was our People know. It was our treat when Strictly Come Dancing was on. We'd sit and have a takeaway and watch Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah. I think you can tell by this as well that we both kind of grew up quite sheltered in the sticks.
Yeah.
You a lot more so than me.
Yeah.
Quite rural on a farm.
Literally on a farm.
Yeah. But I lived in a village, quite a big village.
Yeah.
But still, like, I don't know, we didn't have takeaways. Like,
No.
we had a fish and chip shop. I don't think we had anything else in our village.
We had to go to town anyway. So you'd have to go to town, get your takeaway, come back.
Yeah. But now it's strange because we've diversified from that in that you really like lots of foreign foods.
I love foreign food.
And I still really only like British food because I'm nice and boring.
Yeah, I think his version of Italian's pizza and lasagna.
Yeah. I quite like. That's true. I like Italian.
Italian
I like
food.
Italian food. Lots of pasta. Very good. Yum, tasty.
I'm always trying to be like, should we have paella? No. Shall we have this? No.
Yeah. You've broadened my horizons with food, haven't you?
I've really pushed him, I think, to the limit as far as
we're
go.
we're relying on you really to help Lily experience a diverse range of food.
Yeah, definitely.
Although she does like a lot of the kind of
She likes
staples that I'm quite good at cooking, like lasagna and
risotto.
Yeah, that's a bit out there, isn't it, for me?
That's
quite good
for
at
you.
risotto. Considering I can't cook rice, I can cook risotto. It's very odd.
But I think that's the problem with you. You can cook like sloppy rice.
That's it. That's my speciality.
And
sloppy
also,
rice.
risotto is the opposite to normal rice in that Elliot won't leave the rice alone.
Well, I try. I really try.
You have to put it in the pot.
It just never works.
No, you just have to leave it. And he come and he's stirring it. I'm like, no, you leave it. You just leave the rice to do what it does. But he can't help poke it. Have to poke it.
Shepherd's pie, Lily likes that.
Oh, she loves shepherd's pie.
They're all quite good foods to spoon up, which is useful for Lily when she likes to do it herself.
Well, I went in a phase like a month ago or something of making like British classics like corned beef pie.
Oh yeah.
Elliot loves corned beef pie.
I do. I've never had it before.
He'd never had it. No.
Because I was, spoiled.
Because he's wealthy.
Grew up. Yeah, that's it. That's me.
So corned beef pie and like crumble.
What foods are you excited to introduce Lily to in the future?
Sushi, because I'm a big fan of sushi, and I
hate sushi.
Exactly, I want someone to be able to go out with me, like as a teenager, and go to a sushi place and enjoy it.
Great.
And not have someone sitting there going, "This is disgusting."
Well, I'm gonna have a lovely time at home. I'll order a pizza.
Yeah,
sounds lovely.
You can sit and eat something. Don't know what else am I quite keen to get her to eat. Basically, any foods that you won't eat that she could eat with me, and then we will outnumber you in our decision making.
Whereas I'm just quite excited to have another gluten eater in the house.
Yeah.
So we have an excuse where I can actually,
true.
have pies and things and eat them.
It is true. Since we've had Lily, we've a lot more gluten in the house because it's worth buying the cheaper gluten thing.
That was one of the good things during your pregnancy. You can. I don't understand it, but some sciencey thing means when you're pregnant, your allergy to gluten didn't affect you.
No, but also I think I was throwing up a lot anyway, so
that's true.
Didn't make much of a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made the most of it.
Yeah.
I ate a lot.
Is it different? Sorry, slightly change. Is it different if you're a celiac? Because I know you're like gluten intolerant rather than.
I think it maybe is different if you're celiac. I don't actually know. We will have to ask somebody if it makes that big a difference. But no. I made the most of that opportunity. I just stuffed myself. Which may explain why we had such a huge child.
So having meandered over all those different areas relating to food in a kind of bizarre way.
Yeah, illogical way.
Yeah, we've come to near the end of the show. I always say near, like, we've come to the end, but then we have like another
20 minutes.
Yeah. So we won't touch on the craft. You can see how the craft's gone. Emma says it's amazing. So that's the only thing you can say.
No negative comments.
I think people will be impressed.
Thank you.
I think people think we're very crafty. I mean, we really don't know what we're doing. We just give stuff a go.
And I often get false confidence because I see something on Instagram or Facebook and I'm like, I could do that. And in my head, I'm like, Emma, you couldn't. That's a very talented person making it very easy. But it gives me that confidence that I could achieve such a thing.
So a parenting tip this week. We've had a few sent in relating to food. So let me just pull them up. So yeah, we've had a few people in agreement that eating food together is a really good way to go. Having meals around a table and having them at the same time really helps their children engage with the food and just... Because I think it's a worry, isn't it, with parents? I mean, we've not talked about it because Lily eats well, which you might find really annoying if you've got a child who's struggling to eat. We've not touched really on how to help in that scenario, so you'll have to help yourself. But this tip is suggesting that eating together is really good.
I will say as a con to that, even though we do it and it works well, you will never be able to have adult friends without kids and enjoy a meal with them because they all want to eat really late. And I'm like, I'm used to eating at toddler time. So it gets to like 4:30, I want my food.
Yeah. I really tried to resist the toddler time for a while, but we're kind of given in. So we eat meals at,
Lily-friendly times.
Yeah, which are not times of day that other people normally eat meals, which is a bit of a pain.
It is.
But, what can you do?
It just means you have to be starving then. You feel like
you're
dying of hunger when you have to wait and wait for somebody else.
It's a common theme, though, all through parenting. Like, even in the early baby days, we've talked a lot about food and food we've enjoyed and food Lily likes, but actually... it's rare that you get to sit down and really enjoy a meal anymore.
Yeah.
It takes a long time before it's easy to go out and enjoy a meal out somewhere.
Yeah.
And when you do, like, often when you've got a young baby, you can't eat together. Like, someone's got to hold the baby.
Yeah, and then you have to switch.
Yeah. So I think we now are finally getting to a point where we can kind of enjoy meals together.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And we can go out because Lily's dropping her nap, so we can actually go out at a normal lunchtime
and have lunch.
Trying to find cafes and restaurants that serve food like at 11 in the morning,
or 11:30 even,
or at 4 in the afternoon. Is tough. Like, there's not many options.
they're just like, well, no one eats at that time. You're like, we do.
Toddler time.
It's toddler time.
So remember to leave your thoughts in the comments. Check us out on Instagram, tag us in your crafts. If you've got a craft you'd like us to feature on the screen, send it to us at don'twakethebaby_podcast. Join with us in our Facebook group chat over on Facebook. All the links on our webpage, www.kairosmovement.org.uk/don'twakethebaby. I don't know whether I'm beginning to regret now choosing such a long name for our podcast title.
Yeah.
It's not short and snappy, is it?
But you've learned it well.
There we go. So we'll see you next time. And yeah, we really need to sort out a better ending to this thing. It's a bit,
Sorry, I'm just having a stretch.